to be water before they can shine, so that's why we're here. Welcome to the Tennessee Amphitheater. This space was home to the World's Fair back in 1982. Mayor Tyree, welcome. And is constantly evolving and serving the needs of our city. I attended the fair as a young lad with my parents who are here. Good to see you again. And have many fond memories of this public space. Personally, my experience with my kids, there's not a better afternoon to spend than the World's Fair Park, the Museum of Art, and Fort Kidd. So those are some of the best memories of my life. Shout out. In recent years, the city has updated water and electrical service here, improved the lawn, draining systems, and added irrigation and many hardscapes to this very important grounds. And we've held countless events here, including the Dogwood Arts, which is taking shape soon. I saw Kim Bumpus, thanks to Visit Knoxville, we now have art in the viaducts over here. And some major work is being done to the Sun Sphere, so shout out to Kim again for that. As I mentioned, you may have also noticed the setup for Dogwood Arts Festival. The Dogwood Arts Festival is Knoxville's signal of the arrival of spring. And it kicks off this morning with live music at noon right here in the World's Fair Park. It's safe to say this space is a great example of how we must work to maintain and preserve history while creating functional spaces for Knoxvillians to enjoy for generations to come. Before we get the program started, I need to tackle a few housekeeping items. To keep in line with our goal of providing a clean and resilient future in Knoxville, you may have noticed several environmentally friendly touches, including the portable water supplied by KUB, recycling bins, and a program that's digital. If you haven't scanned it, the QR codes are placed around the property. The site is a little intermittent, but keep trying. You can find copies of the Knoxville budget, the city budget, at knoxvilletn.gov/budget. So check that out either while you're here or as you leave. Speaking of a slideshow, I hope you've had a chance to enjoy the highlights from the last 4 years while listening to music from Colleen D'Alio. So give it up for Colleen. Thank you. As you know, the annual State of the City address is a great opportunity for us to come together, celebrate the progress that we as a city have made, and I see many faces who hold this city together. Knoxville is moving in the right direction, and it is a great honor to see so many people here to share this with us, including dignitaries from all across the region. I'm going to recognize some of them now. As I mentioned, former Mayor Tyree, former Mayor Victor Ashe, city council members, colleagues, hello, good morning. Councilwoman Ryder, Councilwoman Singh, Councilman Thomas, Councilwoman McKenzie, Councilwoman Fugit, and Councilwoman Helsley are the folks I see here. Again, our hearts continue to be with Councilman Roberto, who couldn't be here today. I saw former council member Mark Campen, former Vice Mayor and Council Member Dwayne Grieve, Ed Schaus, good morning. And also Dwight Vanderbeek and Chris Caldwell are here on behalf of the county mayor, so welcome as well. Not to leave out, our friend Farragut Mayor Ron Williams is here as well. So if there's anybody I missed, would you please stand? Oh, of course, former Councilwoman Janet Testerman. Let's give these folks a round of applause. And County Commissioner Courtney Durrett. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for your continued support of our amazing city. It's time now for the invocation by Reverend Vincent Jones Jr. from Tabernacle Missionary Baptist Church, followed by the presentation of the colors by our Knoxville Fire Department. And then Green Magnet Academy will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance before City Parks and Rec employee Loria Smith will lead us in the National Anthem. Please rise for the invocation as you are able. Reverend Jones.
Good morning. Let us go to God in prayer. God, our help in ages past, our hope for years to come. We thank you for being our shelter from life's stormy blast and our eternal home. Dear gracious and eternal God, we come to say thank you for the amazing ways that you have moved throughout this city. A few of your faithful children have gathered together, standing here at the intersection of reflection and collective responsibility, just to say thank you, oh God. We thank you for both the sunshine and the rain. May you empower us to be the fertile soil that allows your love, your justice, and mercy to abound. Dear God, will you strengthen us and give us courage for the living of these days, the facing of this hour, and the building of this beloved community. And in the name of the one who loves us to freedom and frees us into loving, may the people of God and the children of God say amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you. You may be seated. Thank you, Green Magnet Academy and Lariah. Good grief. Good job. Give them another round of applause. Thank you. In just a few minutes, we will hear from Mayor Kincannon. But before that, I would like to invite the city's Poet Laureate, Joseph Woods, better known as Black Atticus, back to the stage.
My Knoxville is a black bear wandering outside the birdhouse. It's an open mic night that just might conjure the right words out, a place some heard about, met and then stayed like Sassy Ann strays. It's a good ways from perfect, but a pub crawl from worth it. A blue sun setting between its bell tower and churches, fourth down and urgent, from fourth guild to merchants. Its heart thumps at dusk dawning into purpose, and I heard it. Like a semi-automatic Sunday service off rifle range with earnest aims to accept things it can and can't change, like the outcome of them games. Or Fellini Kroger and all that strange. It has no say in how often those Smoky Mountain range will play backdrop to some of our best and worst days. I know or know when it'll entertain sunsets that take our breath away, but it can forge its own lane. It can preserve and proclaim, can look at what's wrong these days and choose not to stay the same. My Knoxville started with names like Fannie and Annie Mae, Betty Hot and Bootjack, loop back to past pre-K when Willie stabbed my hand with a number 2 pencil in the hallway. It's a wayward DJ's fingertips reeking through old records. It's a scrapbook with focus, Sharpies and feathers, and I tell you, if you've never seen a goose down Polaroid, it truly gets no better. My Knoxville is a vintage pop-up professor. In leopard print peacoat measured in leather, it's used and new, it's broke yet cool, it's scruffy yet smooth. My Knoxville is a bartender who keeps a harmonica in her back pocket, ready to face the blues that swoon in the baseline of every Kentucky mule. It shimmers off Zeus's jewels, Zenny's glasses. It's kids. It has kids, a mortgage and property taxes. It's taking night classes, works first, second, and third shift, has a day job and a side gig, and somehow found time to spin its way into a shout out in a Tarantino film. But yeah, my Knoxville slides past that sting of pride and finds itself as a maker city, exchanging witty jokes and laughs on tiny stages. My Knoxville laughs like Augustus, raps like Schuler, fights like Zoe, slams like Rage. It's the return of Daniel Root with a troupe and a family. It's an art scene collectively deserving of a Grammy. My Knoxville calls Grandma and Grandpa, Meemaw and Papa. It is Brandon Gibson's voice echoing through our halls. It's the invisible ampersand between Oliver and Beatrice. It's Wild Love coffee line stretching beyond mid-mod. My city transitions as if a transmission lived in the sunset, rhythm and Rocky Top. My Knoxville is Bob Booker singing karaoke to his knees at Marie's. It's Donald Bird's fingers blurring over 88 keys. It's a knock-kneed vintage spree sprouting from its holler. It's a penny for a thought worth $50 or more. My Cherry Street still blooms. My Knoxville is you. Thank you.
I recognize that, Knoxville. Thank you for that. That's beautiful. I think there's a scrapbook to be made with the Kroger nicknames. I think there's one for all of us, for all of them. If you'd like to learn more about our Poet Laureate program, you can also visit the city's website at knoxvilletn.gov/poet. And now for the highlight of the day, the State of the City Address. It's my honor to introduce Mayor India Kincannon, the city's 69th mayor. In my time on council, it is clear that we both love our city and share many of the same goals and have mutual care for serving the people of Knoxville. And as I see my colleagues on city council, I can affirm the same of you. We have worked on many issues together. We started with the Tree Mitigation Bank. We both care deeply about the urban wilderness and housing for the people who need it most. But betterment is not easy. We do not hear the groans of the trees growing, the spring coming to life. I often joke with the mayor that our meetings are not boring, and that means we're doing it right. We both care deeply about trying to find the best way to help the people of Knoxville. Your policy-driven leadership requires thoughtfulness and perseverance. And without further ado, it gives me great honor to introduce my mayor and your mayor, and someone I'm proud to work with, Mayor Indian Kincannon.
Tommy's a little taller than I am. I also wanted to recognize Marilyn Roddy, former city council member, who's here today as well. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for being here. It's a little bit rainy, and I'm so proud that everybody was able to make it out even in the rain. And it's a little bit of an intimate environment as the rain comes down and we enjoy this time in the dry under this amphitheater. So, thank you, Tommy. I really appreciate your kind introduction, and I do enjoy working with you and other members of council very much. Thank you for serving as the Master of Ceremonies today. So today I'm going to share a progress report on the city and look ahead to what's next. In 1982, the World's Fair came to Knoxville. And this park is a unique part of our city, and we are committed to building on what makes Knoxville special. I've seen some amazing performances here, everything from the symphony to sumo wrestling. Who else has attended a memorable show in this amphitheater? Pretty much everyone. And while we've enjoyed some amazing performances here, I want to ask you to look up for a minute. Look up. See what you see. It's not a pretty sight. And even though we've taken really good care of this facility for 42 years, the time has come for a new roof. So, this budget proposal includes design funds for a new roof structure so we can make sure that this unique architectural gem can remain safe, functional, and a point of pride for the next generation. World's Fair Park is one example of our commitment to preserving history, protecting green space, and creating well-connected and beautiful public spaces that everyone can enjoy. We have already started significant upgrades to the Sunsphere. The observation deck has been updated, the base has been restored to its beautiful blue original color, and we're building a new welcome center. So thank you, Kim Bumpus, Visit Knoxville, and everyone who's contributed to the Sunsphere Fund. Where are you, Visit Knoxville? There you are. I don't know about you, but I think it's time to invite Bart Simpson back to Knoxville. If you have time after today's State of the City address, please visit the Visit Knoxville table for a free ticket to go up in the observation deck. Knoxville is on a roll, and this budget reflects our commitment to completion. Good ideas can take years to realize. Our urban wilderness is one example of a unique amenity for our city that has been years in the making. So to all my visionary predecessors, some of whom are here today, who got the ball rolling on some amazing initiatives for our city, thank you. Mayor Tyree, Mayor Ash. So before I share more updates on the budget ahead, I want to take a few minutes to update you on projects that we have already brought across the finish line. 2 years ago, I delivered my State of the City address from a muddy field next to a loud construction site. Now that location is our bustling new public safety complex. And having our police, fire, E911, and KEMA headquartered in this repurposed space is already catalyzing new investments in higher education, housing, and retail. And this past year, we donated a fire truck to Fulton High School. And seeing the students' eyes light up when we drove that truck in, that's how we recruit the next generation of first responders. And there is more to come. Construction is almost done for the Empath Center, which will provide acute medical and behavioral health services right there on the same campus. And thanks to the McNabb Center, the state of Tennessee, Knox County, and our hospitals, the Empath Center is going to open this summer. Now to talk a little bit about housing. In 2017, the city's Affordable Rental Development Fund jump-started construction of new affordable housing across the city. That helped a lot, but we needed to do more. So, in 2021, with the help of amazing partners like Justice Knox, we passed a city ordinance that commits a minimum of $5 million local dollars a year for affordable housing for 10 years. And I am proud to say that we have exceeded that minimum every year. In fact, thanks to the support of this City Council, we have invested more in affordable, attainable housing than ever before, leveraging millions of private dollars and creating homes for thousands of Knoxville families. While some people are struggling to pay rent and others are struggling to buy or find their first home, others have no housing at all. Homelessness is a housing problem, and the needs don't end at the city limits. That's why I'm so grateful that we partnered with Knox County to launch the first ever Joint Office of Housing Stability led by Erin Reed. And back in January, yes, that deserves a round of applause. And her leadership in that office is already making a difference, because back in January, we all remember that big snow and more than a week of dangerously cold temperatures. The Joint Office led a coordinated effort to stand up 4 warming centers, no doubt saving many lives. So thank you, Erin, and all the volunteers who made that possible. I am also proud of our progress protecting our clean air and water and making sure we are ready for extreme weather. Just like the bumper sticker says, and I had this on my first car, trees are the answer. And thanks to the Inflation Reduction Act, we will be planting thousands more trees in our community. Our urban forest master plan can be summarized in 3 simple phrases: more trees, better trees, and trees planted in the right places. So thanks to our urban forester, Casey Krause, Trees Knoxville, and all the partners who developed the plan, and they've already started the work. We are also electrifying our fleet. This budget includes more EVs for police and fire and more electric buses. And I'm confident that we are going to reduce our carbon footprint and increase our resiliency even more under the leadership of our new Sustainability Director, Vasu Primlani. Vasu just started a few weeks ago and has already hit the ground running. Vasu, please stand to be recognized. Vasu, welcome. We are making so much progress on safety, housing, and resiliency. We are also committed to helping people make a decent living. And I'm proud to say, in the last 4 years, we have added nearly 5,000 new jobs to the city of Knoxville. 5,000. We are making so much progress on a lot of fronts, but rather than me giving you these updates, let's check in with some of the people who are making these changes possible.
I worked at the city for 50 years, and what's happening now is just exciting.
There is so much happening here in Knoxville. From our waterways,
We helped more than a dozen people get over their fear of swimming, all through the Swim to Paddle program.
to our highways,
The city has 27 electric vehicles.
To our booming downtown.
We have revamped our development services to make doing business with the city easier as we tackle projects that are shaping our city.
It's safe to say, things in Knoxville are always evolving.
We launched mobile tickets late last year, and already 2,700 people are taking advantage of this option.
But our core mission is still the same, to be brilliant at the basics you rely on.
Fighting crime and keeping you safe is our top priority, and we're getting out in the community more than ever before.
Last year, we responded to nearly 30,000 calls across the city and played a critical role in the city's recent snow response. And yes, we might have saved a few pets too.
When it comes to brush, the city has you covered. We collected over 54 million pounds of brush last year.
And we all want to make sure that Knoxville is a place people are proud to call home.
Over the past 4 years, we've dedicated around $9 million each year in local funding for housing. But we're not done yet.
That's right. Now we're working on a new and updated master plan that will help us determine facilities and activities for the next generation.
We are making strides to make sure every city department has an electric vehicle.
We hope to finalize plans this year to turn this piece of underutilized property at the former McClung warehouse site into a vibrant project that meets the needs of our growing city.
We are working on a new cap pay card that's reloadable and guarantees you the cheapest fare possible.
We will be hosting the city's first ever National Night Out kickoff event at our new public safety complex in October.
We're getting ready to break ground on the city's first new fire station in nearly 30 years.
We are getting input on how to improve our downtown garbage program, along with ways to improve our composting program.
And we are constantly working on creative ways to help ease the housing crisis. Like, well, I don't want to steal the mayor's thunder.
The bottom line is Knoxville is following through on its commitment to public safety, creating healthy and connected neighborhoods, having a clean and resilient city, good governance, and creating and maintaining great spaces.
Here's to 50 more years.
3, 2, 1.
Well, thank you for, I was glad to know everyone's working hard, huh? Good job, videographers and actors, come chiefs, really. This video highlights the biggest and most important part of the city budget, the people. The people who keep Knoxville running every day, the people who do their jobs with skill and grace, the people who work hard and who have some fun along the way. Rodney Wilson has been a dedicated city worker for over 50 years and comes to work every day with a smile. Rodney, you make Knoxville proud. Would you please stand to be recognized? He started with us when he was 17, so thank you so much for all your commitment to this city. I am so proud of our accomplishments, but as they said in the video, we aren't done yet. We are committed to keeping our community safe, tackling Knoxville's housing crisis, and creating great spaces and connectivity across our city. As I've said before, public safety is job one. Thanks to the collective efforts of KPD, KFD, the Office of Community Safety and Empowerment, and community groups, crime is down for the second year in a row. However, we are experiencing an acute shortage of police officers. Our authorized force is 416, and right now, we only have 350 sworn officers. And of those 350, more than 70 officers are eligible to retire this year. A shortage of police officers makes it harder to keep Knoxville safe. We already have the hardest working, best trained, most professional police officers around. It's time they get paid the best too. That is why I'm proposing a targeted, market-based increase for uniform officers. This $3.9 million investment will bring starting pay for new officers to $56,000 and significantly boost pay for experienced officers too, and they deserve it. Our firefighters also play a vital role in public safety. Most of the calls our firefighters respond to are medical emergencies, making advanced training more valuable than ever. That is why I'm proposing to increasing advanced EMT stipends to $3,750 a year and to increase stipends for paramedics to $8,000 a year. Our firefighters need high-quality gear to protect them while they save lives. This essential gear is not cheap. For each firefighter, it costs $5,000 just for the jacket and pants they wear to avoid deadly burns. This budget designates $1.8 million for equipment, training, and resources for new firefighter recruits. Our firefighters also need modern stations to keep Knoxville safe. A few months ago, we purchased property, and this budget proposes $3 million to start construction on a new, first-class, energy-efficient fire hall in Burlington. Keeping the community safe also means ensuring people can move around the city without getting hurt, whether they are walking, biking, taking the bus, or driving. Our Vision Zero plan is a strategy to eliminate traffic deaths on city streets by 2040. Thanks to City Council support, we have a Vision Zero coordinator. Thanks to President Biden, we now have $8 million to start implementing our safety initiatives on Broadway, Woodland, and Magnolia Avenue. We are tackling our affordable housing crisis by listening and learning from those who have real-life experiences, like Michelle Henderson. A domestic dispute left Michelle without a place to call home. For 5 years, she couch surfed, slept in her car, and camped outside. She was often scared, alone, and worried she would not make it through the night. Thankfully, this past fall, with the help of local services, Michelle found a home at Manvilla Manor. She calls her apartment a godsend, saying she is finally at peace and can sleep for the first time in 5 years. But her story does not stop there. Michelle is determined to use her experiences to help change the face of homelessness, and she volunteers to help others get back on their feet. Michelle, thank you for sharing your story. You are an inspiration. Would you please stand to be recognized? I want to help more neighbors like Michelle. So this budget proposes more than $8 million to address our housing crisis. During my inauguration address, I promised that we would look for more creative solutions to the housing shortage. Today, I'm pleased to deliver on that promise. Like Kevin DuBose alluded to in the video, I have a big announcement. Today, for the first time in Knoxville's history, local philanthropists are donating more than $2 million to help with affordable housing. Thank you, Matt Ryerson and the entire team at United Way, Phil Lawson and the Lawson Family Foundation. Phil, raise your hand. The Haslam family, Randy Boyd, Kevin Clayton, and Clayton Holmes. Your generosity is going to help solve our housing crisis. Thank you. Great things are happening in Knoxville, and we are not slowing down. The federal government recently awarded Knoxville a $42.6 million Reconnecting Communities grant that we will use to help heal the wounds of urban renewal. We are also priming the pump for redevelopment investment along Magnolia Avenue. And next month, we will issue a request for proposals to reimagine the rarely used surface parking lot across from Chilhowie Park. It's East Knoxville's time to shine. We are committed to beautiful parks and public spaces. This budget includes $7 million for park and community center improvements, including the new park in Lonsdale and continued improvements at Lakeshore Park. If you aren't sure where those parks are, we have a brand new interactive map that shows all the parks and greenways in the city, the town of Farragut, and Knox County. Make sure you pick one up on your way out today. We are also committed to thriving cultural attractions. This budget proposes nearly $2.4 million for a new rhino habitat and the Ravine Floating Boardwalk at Zoo Knoxville. We are so fortunate to have a vibrant art scene in Knoxville, and this budget continues our support for numerous arts organizations, including funds for the immersion experience at the Emporium. Speaking of great public spaces, have you all seen the progress at the new multi-use stadium? It's halfway done, and it's already sparking investment and creating jobs. By this time next year, One Knox Soccer and the Knoxville Smokies will be playing ball downtown. Let me close by saying we are committed to taking care of the basics you count on and deserve. We are committed to keeping you safe. We are committed to tackling the housing crisis. We are committed to creating a Knoxville where everyone can thrive. I've talked a lot about commitment in this speech. I'm also committed to letting you all get back to work. Thank you for being here, and have a great day.